afternoon, Bob.
Good afternoon.
I know you're there. I just knew. I heard you breathing.
You heard me breathing. Well, you've been in the jungle.
I heard something.
You saw me in Gorillas in the Mist.
I hope you're breathing. The Ghost.
Did you see that movie?
A long time ago.
I really liked it.
It
was very well done.
Yes.
I kind of been out of touch a bit today because my satellite was down, and so I got to ask a couple of questions. First of all, I like to say that I thought gold had a very good day. The gold shares were all up over 2%, the big ones. And that tells me that the pros think it is going to turn around and move higher again. Now, how did the premiums go on the mid-state, graded, numismatic, beautiful coins?
Well, over the past, you know what, every time we go into a 3-day weekend at the end of the month, markets get slow, and that's what performs these markets is supply and demand. People get, on holiday. A lot of people are still on holiday this week. So we had a pretty big move in the past 2 weeks prior to going into Memorial Day. So we have had a little bit of a pullback from Thursday and Friday of last week. But not much, maybe about $20.
Oh, it's interesting. I would have thought they would just hold their own today. Well, the stocks are telling us.
Yeah, but they've been holding their own when we've had these, when we've had pressure on gold over the past couple of weeks, and when we had the turnaround in gold, they certainly outperformed spot gold. So, I mean, they're still doing what they're supposed to do, but hey, they lower prices if buying is slow in the coins, and I'm talking about nationwide. And if it's a little bit of a pullback nationwide, they're going to adjust the coins to spur buying. So.
Well, anyway, what did the Dow do today? I didn't see it, unfortunately.
Oh, you didn't see that either.
Well, I know that.
Well,
I picked up at 3 a.m. and it looked like the Dow should have been off about 100.
Yes.
And then the Dow opened up, it was up 50 points. I mean, Give me a break.
Yep. I saw it was up earlier over 100 points. Let me see where we're at. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Up 225.
It just, I wonder when the American public are going to finally smarten up. Even Wall Street generally can't hide the fact that the markets are all rigged. It's disgraceful. It's disgusting. I mean, Adolf Hitler couldn't have done a better job with Herr Schacht, who ran the Treasury Department under him.
They base it
that is unbelievable.
Yeah, they base it
I've never seen any worse news in my life. And people who own mutual funds and have money professionally managed are getting out of the market. And each week, the amount of money being managed by those entities is falling. And so, you say to yourself, well, where does this money come from? Well, it comes from the American taxpayer. It's the United States government who's doing this. Of course, that doesn't know any political party. All it knows is it's a secret society of people who rig markets and run our country. And they're crooks. Almost all of them. I know, I've been there and watched them. So, we're doing fine. Probably see higher prices here shortly. And I got a few questions.
The funny thing about this, Bob, is they say that the comeback was because of energy and technology shares,
Give me a break.
It's just like, give me a break. The European markets were all down, I believe. I don't know where they actually closed, but when I was up early this morning, they were all down.
Well, if you're in the market, with the exception of gold and silver shares, you better get out. And that includes cash value, life insurance policies, and annuities, and CDs. It's your last chance. Because they're all going lower, because the markets are going to go lower. This is a lot of news over the weekend. I don't have anything specific I want to talk about. I mean, we've done a lot of publishing today as well as on Saturday, so that's 100 pages right there. And, you know, we have 4 or 5 pages of links to really good articles. I mean, I go through thousands of articles to get maybe 50 to 100. And so, you know, if you trust my judgment, you're reading the best of the best. And, you know, that's what this publication is about. Yes, we talk about gold and silver coins and shares, and we make commentary on things financial and otherwise. But we harvest information is what we do. And it's a monumental task. You know, I sometimes have people write in and say, well, why would I want to subscribe to your publication? I can go and do that. And my answer is, well, please do. And there's a lot of people who don't have the time to do that. And so we present an excellent service, letting people know what's going on in the world and the truth about what's going on. Question from Joe. Could the scenario be possible? The euro continues to decline throughout 2010 and crosses parity and continues lower, period. The dollar in correlation continues to rise, putting pressure on U.S. equities and driving investors into treasuries. Then, as our markets fall heavily through 2011 due to the export pressures from the dollar strength, the U.S. devalues the dollar, stating that it is the only option to compete with declining global currencies. The blame would be shifted to the global economy rather than being placed on the politicians. And Joe, you're right. And there's a good chance of that happening. People just don't realize how injurious the strength of the dollar is to America. The move we just seen on the USDX from 74 to approximately 89, that move will cost America, starting the quarter we're in right now, probably 0.5% to 1% of GDP. Now, growth was supposedly, I think it was 3.4%. Of that, 1.7% came from the stimulus. So real growth was 1.3. And if we lose 1%, because American goods are more expensive in other countries, then we'll barely be keeping our head above water without another stimulus package. And I think that's going to come. The trial balloon went up last week. looking for $200 billion. They passed an extension of unemployment at $73 billion. They're going to need $500 billion minimum, plus what the Fed can do. There's no end to this. Just no end. Here's one you can answer, Melody.
Uh-oh. What?
If you could discuss the advantages, if any, to the Canadian government issuing a $50 coin, that's a 1-ounce gold coin, that is actually